There's my boy Virgil. He wants to ask y'all to do something.
Press the subscribe button and the notifications bell right below this video.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. Please subscribe, like, and share. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. And please subscribe, like, and share. Having coffee? I was thinking, and this is mainly my opinion in the U.S., and my personal opinion. So it might not be factual, but who knows? Why so many marriages fail in the U.S.? Well, think about it. It all started probably during World War II. All the men went out to war. The women had to go to work. And after the war, the men come home and they had to go to work. In most cases, the wives wanted to continue working. That's grand. It's fine. Now, we got both parties working. What about the kids at home, from school and so forth? In some cases, the men took care of the kids and didn't work. Some of them didn't, and vice versa. But it seemed like at that point in time, that's when family values started to deteriorate, from my observation. We went through a boom time, from what I have been told, and recall, and things of that nature. Now, I grew up long after that. My grandmother raised me. Oh, what a fine woman she was. Family was everything. And you learned to work under my grandparents, because that's their way of survival. But in a lot of cases, as I went to school, as I recall, the kids with working parents had a different attitude. And the sad part about it, I remember well, I was looked down on because I didn't have parents. My parents were living, but my grandparents were raising me. And you know how that makes a child feel, because they were always sly remarks and so forth. But I made it. I worked my way through school and went to work at a regular job right after high school, working in the coal fields. And it was brutal work, what I did. Now let's get back to why marriages fail. In most cases, newlyweds, all hunky-dory and everything's great. Then reality sets in. You know, you want a home, you want decent transportation, you have kids, you want the best for them. So you work and you try to do all those things. In the meantime, you're not getting to spend time with your kids, especially in my case. No, my whole working life consisted of 12 hours a day or more. I remember times of going to school, going to work before my kids woke, and coming home and they were asleep. I've done that many times. I missed out on so much of my kids. Their first steps, their first words. You know, I come home many a time dead tired and wouldn't even take time to eat because I was so tired and just wasn't able. But I managed to step into my kids' rooms and always told them I love them. I don't know if they heard me or not. That was a routine. After a long, hard day. In the meantime, you know, you're so tired, you need to spend more time with your spouse. Because most time I work 7 days a week. Even when I did have a day off, I didn't have time to spend time with my relationship. No, there's things to do around the home to maintain it. That was probably another 12 or 14 hours of doing all those things, you know, from weed eating to cleaning to painting to repairing. You know. So I didn't get to spend no time with my spouse. Maybe that was the downfall. You know, as I view it, most couples during my lifetime spent too much time apart and no family time. So that spark gradually died. It got to the point you were strangers. Then it got to the point, you know, arguments were over nothing. Silly stuff. You know, in my case, they finally ended up in a divorce. Just because, you know, we lost that spark. Now, the difference between my marriage now and then, I am retired, and we spend some time together. You know, it's rare that we don't have breakfast together. We sit here and we have our morning conversations and plan our day out, and one thing or another. And we do our daily routines. We spend a lot of time together. It's not because she doesn't want to work. Because, believe me, Grace is a workaholic. Constantly. But we do get to spend time together. And during the past 13 years, almost 13 years, we have built a bond that I didn't think existed. So, there are times that we have the same thoughts, quite often. That's how close our bond has become. And I really enjoy that. I enjoy the closeness that we have. I think that's where marriages fail. In the U.S. in particular, I'll use that for an example. Uh, Careers and trying to build that future has actually created more divorces because there's so much time taken away. Now, how are we going to fix that problem? Well, people have thrown the idea of fewer hours work week, which would be great. But then the income wouldn't be there to support everything. Your kids going to college and so forth. The expenses of just maintaining a home, keeping transportation. Because I remember, during my working years, even a regular job, I had to work odd jobs to support my life. So, making those house payments, making those car payments, credit card payments, which I soon discovered that I need to get away from the credit cards. So, I narrowed it down to one credit card that I paid off, usually within 30 days, no more than 90, if it was one I did use. Because that was expensive money. It's designed to keep people separated, work-wise. And you didn't get time to really know each other. Every time you and your spouse hit retirement age, you were strangers. If you made it that far. How do you build a relationship when your jobs won't allow? You can't condemn the women. You can't condemn the men. Because it's kind of built in to make that happen. It just don't make sense, does it? I don't think there's a cure for it because it's gone too far. You raise your kids under that same environment. So it's a continuing cycle. Now there's marriages that do last. But it's fewer and fewer. Because when you and your spouse are separated for extended periods of time, you know, what else is going to happen? You know, it just ain't right. You know, I know life is not fair. And, you know, society has built itself that way. Now, here in the Philippines, I've noticed, especially in this area, families are very close. In most cases, uh, the women do work, the men too, but they find that time to keep that bond. I've noticed that in this community especially, because I can sit here and watch everything happening. You know. And they enjoy it, and they're happy. And they have so little. So most of them, they live in a small house with very little accommodation. Some no electricity, no indoor plumbing. But they're happy. And there's another thing too I've noticed that, and I think they might be gearing toward what happened to the U.S. It's not a bad thing. More families are focused on getting their kids educated. Because here in my little community, most of the parents don't have an education. But their kids are going to school and getting educated. You know, they're, as far as families goes, probably 50 or 60 years behind the times. Well, I remember growing up, when I was a young man, there weren't a lot of parents that didn't have an education. And they were limited on their reading and writing skills, and math and so forth. Here, I see the same thing, but the families stay together. Now, I'm happy with what I do now. You know, I'm very content. That's my view on why a lot of marriages fail. Maybe I'm wrong. And that's my opinion. Anyway, folks, if you don't mind, please subscribe, like, and share.